This is actually my third time here. I first came in 2016 with a film produced by me. It's called Where Are We Going? And then there's another project. It's called The Stranger. It received the Hubble Fund, and also it participated in the Boost NL program. So this is actually my third time here, and I'm very, very happy to be back and presenting. But this is my first time presenting my own film here. Yes, so to meet with the other audience and the professionals. My focus is more about creative documentaries, but I'm also a producer. So I collaborate with my long-term partner, Zhen Fan, and he focuses on fiction and experimental, but I focus on creative documentaries. This film, it resembles my personal experience because now I live in Chicago, while my whole family and a lot of friends, they are living in China. So internet always being a very important component of my life. So for the people, for those streaming anchors in my film, internet also plays a very, very important part in their life, and maybe it's more important than the actual world around them. So I feel I have strongly related to these people, and I really want to use this film to show their lives. For me, this film really explores the how human relationship and human contact transform in this digitally world, and it's something that really happens in this moment. So because I think live streaming, like other forms of media or technology, it probably would disappear in probably several years. So with the development of new technology, so for me, there's really this kind of need to make this film at this moment. Yeah. It opens a door to a new adventure for me. So of course, Tiger competition is such a prestigious program that I guess maybe every young filmmaker wants to show their film there. So for me, it's really a great opportunity to present my film at Tiger competition. But it also, more importantly, I guess, is the support that I receive from the festival here, like the mentorship and the exposure and the attention, which are very, very important for young filmmakers like me. And for this film specifically, because it's a documentary, so I think it's very important for me and the film, to be recognized at an international film festival instead of a documentary film festival, because it gives me and the film more access to a more broader audience. The film is self-financed and self-produced, so nobody gets paid. So of course the money part is very, very important for us. But for me, it's also recognition. It's such an honor if I could win this award, and I will use it probably to just make my next project. Yeah. Rotterdam is quite special because here it really focuses on cinema itself and also focuses on like young filmmakers, because it's not like Cannes or Venice. You have all the big stars, all the and the red carpet. So here is more about the pure cinema, and it provides very generous support for young filmmakers who are looking for opportunities to just show their work.
Can you explain briefly what you actually did with this film?
Yes, so this film actually is a little bit, it's quite special for me as well, because until now I still haven't met any of the person in my film in person, like a face-to-face, like what we are doing now. But of course I talked to them. So this is a film made up of footage that was completely filmed and broadcasted by live streamers, Chinese live streamers in China, but all the footage was recorded in Chicago. So it's a long-distance film. But actually what they are doing is just like what we're doing now, because we are live streaming now, right? So, but of course without the professional cameras, because they use cell phones.
So we're talking about people in China that stream with their cell phones to the world. It's not recorded, it's not a found footage film. So how did you know, or who was in Chicago recording these things as they were streaming? Because it's 800 hours of material. Yeah. Who had that many hard drives? What was the story?
Right, I had 1,000 of huge hard drives on my desk. So actually, so I heard I knew, so live streaming is something is quite new. It barely existed in China probably 5 years ago, but now it creates like billions of revenues, and there are millions of people are involved in this industry. But in my film, those anchors, those people that you will see, they are more like little known people who are using live streaming to get connected with other people. And for me, it's quite a difficult process to finally find these people and finally, to decide whom I would follow or whom I would, watch at this moment. Because all the footage, if you miss it, then you would never have a chance to see it again. So it's like fleeting moment, just like documentaries. But the main difference is that all the footage are filmed by the people, by the subjects or participants themselves, instead of a professional camera person.
So there's, for instance, a scene in the film where a little human walks and describes the fact that he's basically a eunuch, which is heartbreaking and also very, very endearing. Did you find this person? How did you connect to him? Has he seen what you've done with the film? That in itself is a project, it seems.
So for me, so at first I was more intrigued by some like very weird or strange activities. But after probably a month of watching, I feel immune to that kind of activities because they just try to entertain you. But of course now they are so I started looking for people who have a very strong personality, who really want to express themselves to the people on the other side of the screen, that they probably would never meet offline, just like me, they never meet. So it's because I feel like nowadays, like the boundary between reality and the virtuality becomes more and more ambiguous. Like internet becomes a very, very important part of our life, and smartphones become like an extension of our body. So we just need it. Yeah, just like what those people in my film, they need live streaming to talk to other people. Yeah.
So I hope you'll all be able to see it because it's very endearing at times, but you also use sequences that are almost abstract in their time or look on, like the cranes, for instance. How did you go about getting this into something that appears to have a narrative structure at all?
Yeah, it's very hard. It took me, but the special part is that I'm recording while editing. So it's not like I got all the footage and then I started editing. No, it's like it happens simultaneously. So because I feel so the narrative emerges as the footage, as their life changes, because it's real time, So yes, so I got So for me, the editing process is very, very complicated at first because there are thousands of people out there. They're doing live streaming. At first, I didn't know whom to focus. But after a while, I started to more focus on people who are in a less perfect situation. There's no solid storyline in the film, and there's no plot, but it's more about their real life and the real happenings that these people really want to share with other people.
Would you say it has a political dimension, or is that not the case?
It's political, but it's also apolitical. I guess everything is political in a way. So this film, it doesn't deal with political issue directly, but also live streaming actually is a form that you can say it's not political because it's anonymous and it's unregulated. Especially in Western countries like YouTube, you can find many different things. But in China specifically, yes, there is censorship and there is regulation that to regulate what you should do and what you should not do. For example, you cannot smoke in front of like during live streaming, you cannot do that.
What happens if you do? You get cut off immediately, or what happens?
They send you warnings.
Okay.
Or otherwise, or maybe they would give you penalty. Depends. So how serious the thing is. So, but But these people, but what I really want to say in this film is how human relationships transform in this digitally connected world. Like you don't have to travel to other places, and no matter where you are and what time zone you are in, you can get connected with people that you just want to connect with. Yeah.